Embedded devices, including the ever-growing Internet of Things, pose a large and growing security threat for companies, government agencies, and the general public. Adventium Labs' VOLTA project addresses the problem of analyzing embedded devices in order to identify vulnerabilities that could be exploited by an external attacker. There are two phases to our analysis. First, VOLTA's device analysis function, developed at the University of Kansas, enables a security analyst to rapidly explore both known and unknown communication protocols used by a device for input and output messages. Then, VOLTA's learning function, developed at Adventium Labs, uses those inputs and outputs to learn a timed automaton model of how the device behaves and to identify potential vulnerabilities. Over the course of this 3-year project, Adventium Labs has demonstrated the usefulness of VOLTA's algorithm for learning timed automaton models for 4 separate applications. In the first application, VOLTA identified security flaws in a digital door lock. These flaws included denial of service, with authorized users unable to open the lock, as well as disabling the lock's logging function, so that keys presented in an attempt to open the lock were not tracked. In the second application, we applied VOLTA to the GoTenna, a wireless device enabling the use of cell phones in situations where cell service is unavailable. In this application, VOLTA found a vulnerability, since patched, which made it possible for a user to send messages which never arrived with no notification of that failure. Both the door lock and the GoTenna employed non-standard, initially unknown protocols. For the door lock, the protocol was simple enough to require no significant analysis. The GoTenna used a more complicated proprietary protocol, to which we applied VOLTA's device analysis as a capability demonstration. Next, we shifted our focus to known protocols, specifically protocols in the TCP/IP network communication stack. These protocols are widely employed for network devices ranging from large server farms to laptops to industrial control systems to communication backbones in large ships and airframes to IoT devices, including home security, thermostats, and even light bulbs. In our third application, we used VOLTA to examine the DigiConnect ME, a component used for network communication in many embedded devices. In appearance, it looks like a simple Ethernet jack. In actuality, it is a fully capable general-purpose computer. The DigiConnect ME employs an implementation of the TCP/IP protocol stack that has some known vulnerabilities. In addition to the DigiConnect ME, this software implementation has been used in a host of other embedded devices, so these vulnerabilities can be found in a wide range of industrial and government applications. For the DigiConnect ME, VOLTA successfully confirmed a known information disclosure vulnerability, and then went on to find a novel exploit for that vulnerability, which enabled an order of magnitude speedup in the information leakage. In order to investigate the impractically large space of possible messages in even this subset of the TCP/IP protocol stack, made even larger when malformed packets are allowed, VOLTA employed an alphabet abstraction process to structure and constrain the analysis space. In our fourth and final application of VOLTA, we investigated an implementation of the DTLS session handshake in an open-source DTLS server. DTLS is an encryption layer providing secure communications for devices using UDP rather than TCP. In the DTLS session handshake, a client and server negotiate to agree on an encryption method and key to use for the current session. The analysis proceeded in multiple phases. First, we restricted VOLTA to exploring only the correct ordering of messages in the handshake protocol. Varying the timing between messages, VOLTA correctly identified 2 levels of retransmission timeouts. First here, and again here, after which the server abandons the current negotiation and resets. Even this simple model showed some odd behavior. Specifically, the retransmission timeout interval appears to be getting reset every time the server receives a message. In order to further explore this timing anomaly, we restricted VOLTA to a very simple pattern of inputs, repeating the same message over and over, each time choosing whether or not to wait for a response from the server. After this query, if there are no inputs within 5 seconds, the server resets the transmission timeout to 10 seconds. And if there are still no inputs, the session times out. VOLTA's learned automaton shows a potential vulnerability. Each input provided along this path resets the retransmission timer, potentially giving an attacker control over the total delay until the retransmission timeout and session reset. The same is true for this second pathway, where an attacker can delay the triggering of the second retransmission timeout. This demonstrates a means for a malicious client to manipulate the length of the server delay in unanticipated ways, possibly resulting in an exploitable vulnerability. Collectively, these 4 applications demonstrated that VOLTA can learn timed behavior and find anomalies in that behavior. Additionally, they demonstrated that VOLTA can scale to realistic problem sizes, using a combination of abstraction, analyst-guided exploration of the input space, and algorithmic improvements. Concurrent with the work on automata learning described above, Adventium's teammates at the University of Kansas developed a workflow and set of tools for device analysis, supporting the security analyst both in the identification of known protocols, such as TCP/IP, and in inferring the message structure of unknown protocols, as for the door lock and Gotenna applications. Applying this analysis process to the Gotenna's unknown protocol starts by collecting a set of packets for analysis. The range of packet lengths suggests, but does not establish, that there are different types of packets involved. Using a tool to analyze the correlation of the first couple of bytes of each packet with packet length, the analyst concludes that each packet is prefaced by a 1-byte packet type, or opcode. Choosing the packets with opcode 3 for further investigation, the analyst deploys tools to find other fields, for example, strings of characters, as shown here. At this point, the analyst can apply other tools in order to extract more information about the packet contents, like sender and receiver IDs, or the alphabet derived from this partial packet description can be passed to the VOLTA learner for more detailed investigation. The combination of device analysis with VOLTA's flexible, directable learning of timed automaton models of device behavior provides a powerful new capability, reducing both effort and time required for a security analyst to investigate the behavior and potential vulnerabilities in a wide range of embedded systems. For more information, go to adventiumlabs.com.